Lately, I've been thinking about how much we try to control our creative process until it loses its rhythm. Like movement, once it's too measured, it becomes mechanical. In this vlog, I bring you into the studio where I'm building a new pattern, chasing flow and getting tangled in rhythm again. And in between, a birthday by the sea, a quiet day with my parents, and a few soft moments I didn't want to forget. So, welcome! Well, I'm all over the place today, and I think I wanted to show you a challenge I wanted to join. I think I'm going to create first an illustration and then create a pattern if I can. So the challenge is called Bugs in Bloom. So let me show you the first idea. It is something like this. It is like a girl looking at the dragonfly and some cornflowers. This is the last prompt of May. I didn't have the time to join the other ones. I'm going to work on that and you can see me draw. It feels so good to be drawing again just for myself, not for a client, not for a deadline, just to let something grow on the page. It's been a long time since I approached illustration like that. I know lately I've been posting a lot of patterns and working on surface design, and that's because I've been focusing on them again, trying to get better at how they move and connect. But before diving into patterns, I was already working on illustrations and commissions. I had my calendar, I had my illustration course, so client work kept me busy for a while, and somewhere along the way, my patterns got left behind. Now I feel I'm taking the reins back again, but the flying papaya has always come from illustration. But in the middle of that path, I discovered patterns and fell in love with how they repeat and breathe. I started learning with a vector-based course, but that style never fully clicked with me. My work lives in shadows and textures, and vectors felt a little too clean, too flat for where I was at the time. I was already deep into pixel-based tools like Procreate, and patterns just sat there simmering. Lately though, I've been slowly coming back to them, and it feels good. It feels like I'm finally blending both worlds.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions.
Good morning. Today is the 3rd of June. Yesterday I posted the illustration about the dragonfly and the cornflower. And today I was working on having this illustration made into a pattern. What I did is from the illustration I created several versions of the character. And I created also several dragonflies in different colors just to see which one goes better with the artwork. And I think I'm going to toss them inside of a pattern and see what I can create. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do it on Photoshop or in Procreate, but I think Photoshop will be better. Yeah, so let's get working. I drew some extra flowers here just in case I need to fill some spaces. Okay, ready, time to roll and create a pattern. Let's rearrange that. I started to noticing something interesting. The dragonflies gave the pattern a rhythm. They were leading the eye, dancing between elements, and I didn't plan it. That's when it felt alive. I arrived to this stage where it is really fun because if I zoom in, You can see the kids running around. It's not finished because this part I need to fix it, but I actually feel like if I leave some room, it is also nice for a kid's wallpaper, right? Like for the bedroom or something like that. I actually like how the dragonflies turned out because I did one in pink and one in yellow, and kind of like the colors of this. So let's see where it takes me and see if I can create a full pattern full with things or if I leave it this way.
But then I added flowers and things shifted. Each child sat inside a flower arch and suddenly everything was contained and framed. The dragonflies lost their freedom. It was beautiful, but it wasn't breathing anymore.
So I've been playing with the pattern a little. Then I added the flowers, and it's true that the colors are really nice, the pink with the blue, but I feel like the flowers limits me. Okay, so we arrived to this stage where like things are between these little circles. So if I zoom out, you can see that there is like kind of like space here where it repeats that I don't like, but I'm trying to not have this, and this is because the flower is really blue and the rest you cannot see it because they are in pastel colors. So I will say if I zoom in, the colors are really nice, although I see that there is a little bit of chaos in here. I'm gonna make one pattern just to see how it will look on a wallpaper, for example, and from there come back and tweak things. And this is where all the magic happens. This is my best part for sure. Look at this. I'm going to lower my scale and see. What about this one? Isn't this cute? Oh my god, so cute. And if I try a bigger scale, let me see. That would be something like this.
So for my birthday, we went to Cascais, a restaurant that I had in mind for a long time. I knew I wanted to save it for a special occasion like my birthday. This year felt extra meaningful because my parents were visiting. They came to help with the kids, and it was the first time my dad met Vera. So at the moment she was like 7 months old, I think. I had shrimp risotto, which has somehow become my go-to birthday dish. And last year I had something similar in one of my favorite places. The tiramisu came with a little bit of a show, and I also ordered profiteroles, of course. After lunch, we took a walk around the beach. It was May and almost 30 degrees, which is rare in Lisbon, but also not surprising. If you ever get the chance, this city knows how to do weather. And I actually got to celebrate twice, once here at the restaurant and then again on my actual birthday at home. And in this clip, you'll see that I was looking off to the side because Vero was crawling and I thought she might fall, but she didn't. So, motherhood. It was just one of those soft sunlit days I want to remember. So finally, I'm going to show you my comparison between the two versions of this pattern. The first one on the left had the children sitting inside flower arches. It looked nice and the idea made sense, but the dragonflies didn't have the flow I imagined and they felt stuck. The second version on the right gave them movement. They could fly more freely across the composition, and this pattern actually sat with me for almost 3 weeks. I kept thinking about it, unsure if I wanted to let go of that first version. It's not that it was wrong, but the second one felt more alive, more playful. So here is a mock-up as a wallpaper, and you can see how it moves. And yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know your favorite because I'm curious to see if you like the first one. And thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.